Yes, I really found it really struggled to get my ideas down on paper, and often I realised that I really needed to share my ideas with other people, and I had to share it in a way that was engaging for other people as well. A really great example of this is when I started to structure my PhD. Just before I was going to the right, I knew that I had to, in my mind, get a clear structure of what this thesis was going to be. I'm writing 80,000 or 85,000 words, and I wasn't going to start writing until I felt confident that the structure was adequate to support the argument I was creating. So what I did was I mapped out the structure. I then went to ask some peers who really knew my work, and I asked them if they would join me in a brainstorm. And what happened was I spent probably about a day and a half looking at the structure I already had and developing that to a point that I could then communicate that with others. I then got on the day of the brainstorm, I set the brainstorm up, made sure there was like plenty of post-it notes or plenty of markers, plenty of things for people to kind of interact with what I was doing. On 2 whiteboards, I put up all the images, all of the chapter structures on the wall. And then when I was preparing for this brainstorm, I made sure that I wanted to know what more focused questions I wanted to ask them. So when I started the brainstorm itself, what happened was I said I really want feedback on these areas. These areas don't really feel right. Or for example, do my contributions actually sit with the argument I'm trying to string through the thesis? And I think for me, developing focused questions before I went into the brainstorm meant that I was probably likely to get more focused responses to it. And during the brainstorm and mapping out the structure, it was really productive for me because it really forced me to articulate my ideas in a way that I couldn't. Obviously mapping articulates your ideas, but the actual art of conversation enables you to have them conversations that wouldn't, and you then question to reframe your answers. And when an interesting point came up, I would obviously be recording this conversation on my dictaphone, and I just write down the time of that conversation. Then after that preparation, after the brainstorm, I would then go on to the last step, which would be reflecting on all of that material that I collected and make sure how does that fit with the structure and what was that point, because often what I thought was actually said was not said.